Today we are having a full blast discussion on quite a number of issues around the state of the nation. To join me in that very important conversation today, I'd like to welcome for the first time two inside sources, Mr. Ismail Omikidon, the Deputy Editor of Politics of The Sun, an author and a public affairs analyst. Ismail, welcome to Inside Sources.
The pleasure is mine.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And of course, we also have here a veteran journalist, author, and a retired banker, Mr. Etim. Etim, welcome back to Inside Sources.
Nice to be back.
All right, let's start with you. You know, it's something that has to do with figures, and you have been a banker. The president says that he can beat his chest because the federal government has outdone itself in terms of the revenue, estimates that have made quite a lot of money that was intended for the whole year already in August. Is there something to cheer about there, Etim?
Yes, there is something to cheer about, even though the president probably misspoke or made a mistake. The revenue profile for 2025 budget is 54 trillion naira. As at August, the administration has earned 36 trillion naira. Okay. That's about 67%. But at this run rate, the government will meet its budget target of 54 trillion naira. There's no doubt about it. So it's not very correct to say that it has already met the budget. No, it will meet the budget. But I must commend the administration, I must say. I'm not always fond of praising this government for some reasons, I don't know. But I must commend the administration for addressing the serious fiscal challenges we had right from the last administration. The removal of fuel subsidy, the reforms in tax regime has ensured that the government has addressed fiscal problems we've had. So there's a lot of revenue now coming to the federal government, coming to the federation, and being distributed to the federating units. But that does not mean that we are out of the woods. No, we still have serious economic challenges in the country. Unemployment is still high, inflation is still high, and insecurity, of course, is still with us. But what really saddens me most is that we've gone back to era of food importation. President Buhari did well. We can blame him for every other thing, but he did well by getting us close to self-sufficiency, even in rice. He increased rice production from 4.5 million tons to 9 million tons per hectare. We were about exiting importation of rice. And we were targeting wheat, sorghum, and other grains. But now we are back importing food seriously. So I want this government to face issue of food production seriously.
Okay. All right. Good opening remarks. Let me take it to Ishmael. And, please take it the way you like, but I want to ask, as a political analyst that you are, both inside and outside, you are a reporter and then you've also been out there in politics. The president said that I can beat my chest about this. Is it something that is good for politics, this issue of exceeding the revenue targets?
Yeah, considering the political atmosphere, considering the fact that there are some persons within the polity that believe it's not doing well. For me, I think it's a good selling point. In Yoruba, they said when you are sure of God, if you, especially those who worship Ogun, right, God of iron, if you are sure of it, you use it to hit your forehead. I'm sure that was exactly what Mr. President has done. And so for me, it's a good optics politically.
Well, of course, the ADC has immediately responded and said that, look, Mr. President, that's not the issue. We still have unemployment, we still have poverty, there's still corruption and all of that.
Well, I commend the ADC because before the birth of the ADC, the APC appeared to have a fit day. And so for me, a responsive and responsible opposition will help to keep the government in power in perpetual check. So I don't expect less. You don't expect opposition to come and praise it, even when you are doing the right thing. Yes. So it is for you to always keep your eyes on the ball.
So let's dig that a little deeper. The balance between our foreign earnings and, which is dollar, foreign currency, and then the local currency, which is naira. Now, when we talk about diversification of the economy, this is what most people say. But I want us to really examine it. Is this how to diversify the economy? Is it by us being able to raise more naira? Is it how to diversify the economy? Because it seems to me that that's quite not the challenge. The challenge is not really about our ability in terms of diversification of the economy. That's what I mean. I'm not trying to underreport this. This is something significant before I agree to that. But does it go to say that now we are diversifying the economy? Because we still have very significant, constraints regarding our foreign earnings. I mean, look at what is happening with the embassies. We don't seem to have money to maintain the embassies. In fact, it's been suggested that part of the reasons why the president has not picked ambassadors is that he looked at the bill, which is really in hard currency, and he says, this is a lot of money. Ishmael, can we say that we are, is this the diversification that we're talking about? And then we'll come to it.
Not necessarily. But if you notice the step the government is taking by the day, you know that they also have plans to really go into that. Because unless we have something to produce,
right, yeah,
to sell,
yeah,
you cannot earn this foreign currency. And that takes me to the recent ban on importation of shea butter. Just this morning I was reading that a factory is likely to be commissioned, inaugurated, whether today or during the week in Kwara.
Right.
Now, I was made to understand that there are about 2 in Niger State. So meaning that government policy will help these industries to grow. And unless these industries grow, there's no how we can earn foreign currency. So in as much as I want to agree that we may not be diversifying the real sense of it, but I think there are steps towards ensuring that this is done the way it ought
it also be.
To be.
I said that you wanted to make a point.
He's right. We are not diversifying, or increased tax revenue does not necessarily mean we are diversifying. Diversification means that there are other sources of earning foreign exchange apart from one.
Okay.
But since the president came in, by some stroke of luck, we've had another source of revenue, which is of earning foreign exchange, which is Dangote Refinery. Unknown to many Nigerians, that is a major source of inflow of foreign exchange into this country.
And hopefully, a lot of the transformation that we're expecting is going to come from those state governors, because they are the ones benefiting from this.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the missing links that I've observed over the years. You see, every now and then we heap the blame on the federal government.
Yeah.
Forgetting that the money being earned from the removal of subsidy, the states are getting it. And if you notice, I have lived in the North for a very long time. I've observed, maybe because the media is concentrated in the Southwest, we are not paying attention to the Southwest the way we do in other parts of the country. Most of our governors in the Southwest, they are not doing well. They are not doing well at all. They are not doing well. But you see, because I don't know whether it's because they have presence of the media, you hardly hear, because when you go to some northern states, you see the type of roads they are building, you see the type of efforts they are making to industrialize their state. You begin to wonder, with all the education we claim to have in the Southwest, what exactly is happening? Look at Enugu. I was in Enugu recently. The way the man is taking on, reviving, most of this money.
Something is happening.
You know that this man has something to offer. But the only thing we hear in the Southwest, they blow big grammar. They don't seem to see anything on ground to show for the money they are collecting.
Very important point. But so you think that there is more attempt at industrialization in northern states than in the south?
Go to Nasarawa. Nasarawa is very close to us. Go and see what the governor is doing with regards to solid minerals. But for the banditry in Zamfara, there was an attempt to also revolutionize, that sector in Zamfara state.
Interesting.
Benue, I grew up in Benue state. My worry about Benue is that since 1999, they have been telling us that they want to build a fruit juice manufacturing industry.
Okay.
Akume, the current SGF, told us about it. He spent 8 years. I'm not sure I saw anything.
It didn't happen.
Suswan, who took over from him, told us the same thing. He spent 8 years. I'm not sure it happened. Otom, who took over, he also spent 8 years.
Everybody had 8 years.
I hope Alia will do something because we have a lot of raw materials to feed that industry in that part of the country.
Yeah, but what about the insecurity in Benue?
Well, you see the insecurity in Benue, especially with regards to the recent happenings, for me, we cannot divulge politics from it.
Really?
Yeah, let's face the fact.
Explain.
Let's face the fact. Explain. You see, if you recall, under our term, I recall very well, I grew up in the Otukpo, the Idoma part of Benue State.
Okay.
Now, in Apa and Agatu,
right,
in Benue State, these are Idoma speaking area.
Okay.
But they have more indigenous Muslim concentration than any other part of the state.
Oh, I see.
Now, they have been living with some of these headsmen for a very long time, but disagreements will happen once in a while.
Right.
Now, when they started attacking the Idoma people in Agatu, Otom came out to say the Idoma people should learn how to tolerate them, should learn how to accommodate them. But when the attack moved to Guma,
which is
a thief area.
It's thief, yeah.
They issued an ultimatum.
Okay.
It changed the narrative.
It changed completely. They issued ultimatum.
Because he is thief too.
Yeah, he's thief. They issued ultimatum. Now, at some point, we realized that some of the militants were those that had been hired by various political actors in the past to do certain things for them. This thuggery, thing, because one of the leaders that was eventually killed, some of us know him. We know the camp he belonged. We know those his boys were working for. So the moment the leadership in the state don't align,
right,
you always find, some of these things, because they will tell you there's no crisis between Akume and the Alia. But I can tell you authoritatively, as somebody who was born in Benue State and somebody who understands Benue politics, that all is not well between the two of them.
No, it's
and
not.
Unless they come together, they will not be able to solve this problem.
But okay, I would like Etim to also
weigh in on this.
Weigh in on this. Before I then ask the question, I'll come back to you. We need to examine that issue. What's the problem between Akume and Halia? But let's have Etim.
Well, I'm pleased to hear the political angle of the crisis in Benue. I've always heard there is, and it's explained it deeper. But let me also say that in addition to domestic political crisis in Benue, there's also external influx of terrorists coming into the state to attack. I don't know whether that is a dimension of the domestic political crisis or it is a different thing. What is happening is that Benue is a border state.
Yeah, between us. Yes.
From Cameroon, we have had terrorists, murderers, bandits, whatever you want to call them, foreigners coming to attack citizens of Benue and run away. Is this extension of the politics,
The local politics.
of the local politics, or a different one?
You see, the thing is, without the connivance of the locals,
Of course,
you cannot have
foreigners
coming. And the locals will only connive when those who are in authority does not seem to align with the locals.
Okay, interesting. But tell us, so this Akume Alia problem, can you just summarize?
must be ethnic.
No, it's not ethnic.
It's not,
You
but
see,
they are
the
both,
thing is,
Are they both thieves?
yeah, they
Yes,
are
they are
both thieves.
both- oh,
They have-
really?
they have never given Idoma opportunity to,
Okay, that's true.
to assume power in the state.
Yeah.
Now, what I do know is that, and it's the same thing with virtually all political godfathers. I think so far, one man that has been able to manage the excesses, maybe let me say two of them now, it's the current president and the current vice president. But we cannot give the kind of credit we give to the current president, to the vice president, until he's able to produce another successor after Zulu. And we still have this peaceful atmosphere. Now, you see, once they install
The
a
governor.
governor, they ask for too many things.
So Akume,
Now,
Did
Akume
Akume
and
install
Ali,
Alia?
of course, he was the one who he was the one.
Oh,
who
really?
brought him. Now,
Oh, okay.
now their problem started from the election of speaker.
okay,
Akume had his preference. Alia had his preference.
Of course.
and that
Now,
fight is still going.
What pained Akume most was that Alia had to collaborate with Suswan, some persons who were loyal to the Suswan camp,
Right.
to produce
His own speaker.
his own speaker. And so, naturally, the SGF was slight
Someone being even in PDP.
in PDP. So, naturally,
So that's where the
but
problem
you
started.
see, but you
That
see,
reminds us
but you
of
see,
how Saraki emerged.
I also advise the SGF. When he brought Suswan, they fell out. He brought Otom. In fact, Otom had contested PDP primaries and lost.
Then he
He
moved to
never,
APC.
he never contested APC primary.
You just gave it to him.
The ticket was given to him. They fell out. He brought Alia. They are falling out already. So he must find a way of managing
His
Alia, because
expectations.
if he's not careful, Alia is a reverend father. Benue, there are more Catholics in Benue State.
Yeah.
And in the Catholic community, a father cannot take authority from you, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
So you are the one that will say, yes, father. So the father is looking at it that, yes, I'm a political head, governor, but I'm also
A religious leader.
a religious leader. But Akume wants a situation whereby he will be the one to give the
Call the
directive
shots.
for father
To
to
the Reverend Father. Okay, let's move on to something else. Because of our time, this issue about bandits and ransoms seems to have been reignited by Malam Nasir El-Rufai, who says that he will never, support it. I think he has supported something like that in the past.
No, let me correct that impression.
Please.
You see, I was in Kaduna when this happened. It was under Yakowa. Yakowa, as governor, set up a committee
Okay.
to address the issue of incessant attacks in the southern Kaduna.
Okay.
In the course of the work of the committee recommended, the committee said that part of the reason was that the headsmen felt slighted, or they were angered by the fact that their cows were killed. Were killed.
Yeah.
So it was that committee that recommended that a compensation be made to that group.
To the
Now, don't forget that Yakowa died.
yeah.
Then Yero took over from Yakowa. Now, during the electioneering,
Right.
El-Rufai promised the people of the state that he was going to end the incessant killings. And so by the time he took over in 2015,
Okay.
when we started experiencing that again, They now set up a committee. In the process of that committee, the committee now said, look, a committee had worked on this thing before. And this was the recommendation. And then I said, okay, let's implement. Unfortunately for him, you know the way he talks.
Yeah.
He made it look as if
it is his initiative.
Initiative. And that's why people say, you know, he was. Having said that, as somebody who has been involved in this matter before,
right,
I can confirm to you that ransom are paid
by government.
Victims, not government.
Of course.
Victims.
Of course.
Because my best friend had been kidnapped before. My colleagues had been kidnapped before. In fact, in one of the incidents, I got in touch with a senior police officer whom I thought should be able to assist, should be able to help. And he got back to me and said where they were, if they make any move, that my friend may be killed. I said, just let us. So he advised that we should cooperate.
Interesting.
You know, and but you see, one funny thing happened about that incident, and that kept me wondering. When we were to deliver the ransom, we were also afraid that maybe we will also get kidnapped.
Which part of the country was this? Remember?
Just,
okay. Right.
okay. You know, and those who were involved told us that we should not worry, that they own the road for that week.
They own the road?
Yeah, that was the language, that they own the road for that week and that nothing will happen. Now, to further buttress, I'm saying this because the security operatives must look inward. There are some bad eggs within that are collaborating with these criminals. Well, a colleague that was also kidnapped, I think about 3 or 2 years ago, the younger brother escaped in the process. They had the older brother. And the kidnappers were beating him to tell them the identity of the guy who escaped. And that one lied to them that he just picked him up on the road. I didn't know him from anywhere. The next morning, the kidnappers returned to say, you lied to us. Because when the boy got to Kaduna, he went to police station to report. And the kidnappers got the information that this matter has been lodged at the police station. And they were like, you lied to us.
Terrible.
Now, El-Rufai, being a former governor, will have access to information. I don't know, but I believe very strongly that if indeed he has his facts, I think government should be able to, take him on. I know that family of victims do pay. And I'm also aware there were also 2-3 incidences where ransom were paid, and through the office of the NSA, the money was retrieved.
The ransom was
from the kidnappers.
Yeah.
They arrested them. They got them. And the money was retrieved.
Under the Tinubu administration.
Under the Tinubu administration.
Okay. I mean, so the argument is out there. What's your take about it? How do you dice it, Etu?
El-Rufai said that Kaduna State Governor is paying money to bandits to appease them so that they would not strike. And that is why there is a relative peace in Kaduna now. Because he said that in context of the fact that the interviewer had asked him, why was there so much kidnapping and crisis in your time more than now? So he explained that, look, I wasn't paying money to kidnappers, that the governor is paying. He said 1 billion was paid 2 weeks ago. But Kaduna State Governor had also sent somebody to the same program on your TV channels here, and he said no ransom is being no appeasement, not ransom. He wasn't talking of ransom. He was talking of appeasement. Yes, preempting ransom or kidnap. That nothing like that is happening. So we do not. El-Rufai also made the point that even the Office of National Security Advisor is paying kidnappers to keep them low, at peace. Where? El Rufai is now an opposition politician. So.
Absolutely. And my own view that, look, I mean, this idea of just mouthing some of these things make no impact of any kind for the common people.
Oh, no.
If El Rufai has credible information and if he is bold enough to come on national television to say that this is a policy from the NSA's office that they are implementing in Kaduna and a few other places and that they have the information, he should please come out and tell us. Otherwise, like they say when they get people married, if you forever keep his peace, because what is the use? You know, at this point of our evolution in this issue of insecurity, what is the use of coming to tell us that we know that, and then we tell you when the time is like, come on.
The use is
should have
politics.
gone past that level.
You know that El Rufai and Ribadu were very close friends.
Yeah. But
They've fallen apart.
they fell out in
No,
2010.
they fell out even under Jonathan.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't forget,
The quarrel is so
Ribadu
strong
wanted to be governor under Jonathan.
Of
of
Adamawa.
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 Yes.
You know, it was at that point they fell out.
Yeah.
But you see, their relationship, I think only the two of them
Will know.
will know.
Yeah.
But what I see as an outsider is I see element of envy.
Yeah.
Envy.
Yes, I see element of envy. I see element of not carrying each other along because Ribadu, rightly or wrongly, would believe that when Rufai was everything and anything in Buhari's government, nothing was done to elevate his status.
It was not taken care of.
His status politically.
Even before that, you know, and I think it's important to put these things in the public space. I have quite a few insights also. I think the problem between El Rufai and Ribadu started a little bit much earlier.
So maybe that is, maybe that is why is that problem that made him not to get into the cabinet.
Well, you know, there are those who say that.
At somebody who has reported from the National Assembly for a very long time, I want to believe it's part of the politics because you see, what do we call security reports?
Exactly. You know, of course, a lot of the times it could be politicized.
It's all part of the politics because there's no how you have an El Rufai in this government,
Right.
and he will not want to outshine the likes of Ribadu.
Yeah, of course.
And you know, sometimes performance attracts you to the boss.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He would have prepared himself to be boss.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ishmael, you are touching on some of the things, you know, and that let's
No talk show has been able to touch on this
yeah,
type
but
of
let's make it open, and that's why this is called inside sources. I think that if you go back to the history of their relationship, it got strengthened during the
Obasanjo, yeah.
Yes.
You know, where Rufai was, if there were cabals, Rufai is one of the
one of them.
and Ribadu was also the
One of them.
Yeah. So both of them were they were dandy. Okay. And the boss then was that Rufai wanted to be president. And the plan is that if Rufai becomes president, he'll make Ribadu the Inspector General of Police, which was what Ribadu always wanted to be. Come 2011, Asiwaju is supporting Ribadu to run for president.
Yes.
That was where the problem started. Because Rufai felt that, no, I'm the one that's supposed to be the president. I should be running for president. But Asiwaju supported Ribadu, if you remember.
Yes.
You know,
On ACN.
as a matter of fact, ACN delivered in Osun State.
Yes, that was the only state.
That was the only state.
Yeah.
You know, Aregbe delivered.
Yeah. And I'm sure I ever did it on purpose to prove a point. You know, he just came in 2010.
Exactly. He
And we're going to the general election. He
Yeah.
couldn't take the risk of following the pact that
Exactly.
was entered into between the ACN and the PDP
at that time for the presidential. Exactly. So
Jonathan.
that is where
The problem, enmity
fallout started because El Rufai couldn't imagine that Ribadu will be the one to have that platform. Of course, Ribadu didn't make any good use of it. I don't think, you know, he has been able to, even up to now, garner any serious electoral value. He may have it, you know, fair is fair, but we haven't seen the manifestation of it. And El Rufai at least has won twice, using the Buhari connection. So I suspect very seriously that is how deep the chasm
enmity
between Rubadu and El-Rufai has become. And my own worry is that, look, we can't have that kind of level of personal animosity, defining public policy. It should,
I agree with you. And, I know that they were quite close because I knew that both of them were haunted at the same time by the Yar'Adua government.
Yeah.
Even though they
they both came to the US.
They played the role in installing government. And I also know, I've not been able to confirm this from any of them, but I knew that at a point when Obasanjo, some persons around Obasanjo were toying with the idea of making Buhari the president in 2007. Yeah, when Obasanjo was exiting.
Right.
Some persons around him toyed with the idea
That
he should
tap
use
Buhari.
I understand that both Ribadu and El-Rufai were also part of those working,
trying to persuade Obasanjo.
Trying to persuade Obasanjo to us. Well, I know they were quite close. I hope that one day some of us will be able to know what exactly.
Yeah.
But like I said,
but what problems did the two of them have with the Yar'Adua administration? Do we know?
well, from what I know, in Yoruba land, they say the king, once the king is crowned, the king usually goes after the kingmakers.
Or at least the prominent people.
Just to show that I'm now in charge.
Now here. Okay.
Because I know that they may not have supported Yar'Adua 100%.
I see.
Imagine 100%, because in fairness to them, Yar'Adua is late, may so rest in peace, in terms of intellect, in terms of their pulls apart.
Especially, and we're talking especially of fire.
Yeah, you understand. So
the one that actually
Yar'Adua may have been privy to some of this back end, this one. He felt that, look, if I must enjoy this presidency,
I must.
These people must give me space.
Must give me space.
Especially in Nasiru.
And that also happened. The two of them actually had to leave the country.
But they went on exile.
Yeah.
They went on exile.
I remember, probably sometimes, they came to Washington DC and we met, the three of us.
They were in Dubai. They were in
Dubai.
US, and the two of them were always moving together.
Yeah. So we just hope that they can sort their differences
And leave us alone.
and
leave us alone.
I want us to also talk about the Wike PDP 2027. It seems, and let's start with Eti. It seems that every time PDP tries to rise up, Wike knocks it down. Why is this so difficult for PDP people to rein in Nyesom Wike?
It's baffling that a political party of PDP's status would condone what Wike is doing. And I'm surprised if they did not know that was the real intention of Wike coming to Abuja as FCT minister. He was brought specifically to destroy or weaken, at the very best, the PDP. It was clear. But PDP made a mistake by allowing him, tolerating him. And now he has grown into a monster. So he's the one member giving party conditions after conditions. Maybe they were afraid, PDP did not want to discipline him because they were afraid that he would go to court and upturn the decisions and use the judiciary in his favor. Or were they afraid, PDP, that the APC federal government would descend on them, that they are now disciplining one of his one of his workers? I don't know. Now PDP is regretting. Interesting
point. Last word, Mr. Ishmael.
Well, for me, courage is leadership. Leadership is courage. I think the leadership of the PDP should be courageous enough to wear the beat stick if they are interested in keeping the PDP afloat. I give them a typical example. In Osun State today, APC is having the type of respite it has because it was courageous enough to expel Ogbeni Ralph Aregbesola from that party. If they had not expelled him by now, APC would be in the same shit
that
PDP is.
Naturally. Thank you so much. Our time is fast spent. This was a quite exciting conversation, and I hope that we get the opportunity to continue. Mr. Etim, thank you for coming, and
Thank
Mr.
you.
Ishmael Omipido, thank you for your inaugural Inside Spaces.
Inaugural outing.
The pleasure is
Now make me a fellow.